I have a lot of statistics here. This is going to be probably the most number heavy question that we answer, and I apologize in advance, but we're going to get through this. Okay. So, just in a national context, we have about 6 million collisions per year in the United States. This is out of a population of 300 million. So, I mean, this is a lot of accidents happening. That leads to somewhere between 40 and 46,000 deaths per year on American roads. 5 million injuries, which again, you've got 5 million over 300 million. I mean, that's a pretty high percentage. You're pretty likely to get hurt on the roadways. And the number that really shocked me in the national context was that costs the American economy $480 billion per year, which actually averages out to about $80,000 per collision, which seems high unless you kind of think about a lot of the costs of those accidents are hidden in medical insurance and vehicle insurance and legal fees and lost wages and property damage to the state, which is then made up in taxes, right? I mean, so each collision has a kind of a ripple effect out of cost to local, state, and national economies. In the Connecticut context, we lose. The last I checked, we had lost someone on the roadways in Connecticut every calendar day of 2025. So someone is dying somewhere on the roadways in Connecticut pretty much every single day. Watch for Me CT had some really good statistics on this, and last year we had 1,655 crashes involving pedestrians in the state. There's 200 injuries of pedestrians and 74 fatalities. So even this is a statewide and a national problem, which is then reflected at the town level. So in Windsor, looking through the Connecticut Crash Data Repository, we average about a collision and a half per day. So 3 collisions over a 2-day period is sort of the running average that we have. And that corresponds with about an injury per every 3 days. And we have a death on Windsor roads roughly every 7 months. So again, I know it's a lot of statistics, and I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, but people are dying. I mean, this is a really serious situation with the safety in our neighborhoods. On Broad Street specifically, it actually is overrepresented in those statistics. So Broad Street is 1 mile out of 190 miles in town, and yet it accounts for 4% of Windsor's injury crashes and 20% of pedestrian collisions, which, put maybe a little more digestible way, you're 8 times more likely to be injured in a crash on Broad Street than anywhere else in town. And you're 40 times more likely to be injured as a pedestrian on Broad Street than anywhere else in town. I mean, honestly, it's kind of a miracle no one's been killed there recently. I mean, we have accidents on Broad Street every month. We've had, I think, 7 or 8 collisions with pedestrians and bicyclists over the last 10 years. I mean, it's a regular occurrence that we're having serious injury-causing accidents on Broad Street regularly. And to your kind of original point about why we're doing this, I think people are making a rational decision not to bike and walk in that neighborhood, and then that drives down foot traffic that local businesses really rely on. So it's bad, and we need to fix it.